So we have Leon Marusa, who's a data scientist at Elektro Celje, joining us. Thank you very much for joining us today, Leon. It's great to have you here with us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Delighted that you'll be speaking at our AMI conference, which is a brand new conference for the advanced metering infrastructure community in Europe. You'll be speaking at that in October. But in the meantime, we thought we'd catch up with you and just find out a little bit more about the work that you've been doing and that you're going to be sharing about at the conference. I know you've been doing a lot of innovative work with your smart meter data. So can you tell us what were the drivers for launching the projects that you're currently working on around smart metering data?
Yes, of course. Yeah, well, actually, I started in smart metering not so long time ago because I changed the company. So now I'm working for a DSO, Elektro Celje from Slovenia, and yeah, I'm in the smart metering department. So actually, what we were doing during the coronavirus was actually setting up a system for automatic reporting of some of the metrics, and the summarized measurements, the advanced metrics and visualizations, actually for the business side, for the business perspective. Mm-hmm. Because currently, we are getting smart meter data. Right now, we have, I think our grid is about, let's say, 85–90% covered with smart meters, and we are using these measurements to transmit them to the retailers so they can optimize their business. But we still haven't so much impacted the core business side of usage of that data. Mm-hmm. So during the coronavirus, we actually had some time to spare to put effort into that side. Mm-hmm. And we actually developed some statistical reporting and visualizations in Python, such as, what is the consumption of only household smart meters, what is the consumption of industrial smart meters, at what time do the consumption peaks occur, how much do PVs in a certain part of the grid produce, how much energy do they produce, stuff like that. We actually, now we're in a phase where every morning we get smart meter data from previous day for about, I think it's 150,000 smart meters. Mm-hmm. And we have this automatic report that is generated in Python, about, I think, 22 pages long. And every morning we get that report and we see actually the summarization of the grid, what happened previous day, what happened week before, what happened month before, and we compare the same days for the consumption, for the production. Right. So this was the basis for launching a bigger project that waits for us.
And this is the outcome of COVID-19 for you.
I'm sorry?
This was the outcome of COVID-19. The time.
Yes. I had a little bit of spare time, and I say, why not use it wisely?
Absolutely. And how do you think this is going to change the way that you're organizing things in your department and with your operations? What's the knock-on effect of this?
Yeah, well, I think it's especially big impact because you can actually see the power of digitalization. Mm-hmm. It's one thing that you have the data. It's another thing to use that data wisely for the for the business perspective.
Yeah.
So actually, we all start with, let's say, simple visualizations, right? You plot the data, you see what are its properties. You see how you can make use of them. Then you take a look at what other data do other departments have, what data are available, how to access them, and then you try to connect with those data. And in the end game for us is also to make some sort of forecasting or artificial intelligence integration, to actually see where our system is going to be in the future, what are going to be the impacts in the real-time operation or day-ahead operation and stuff like that.
Right.
We of course we already have some of those things, but we are really trying to include some machine learning principles in those operations.
Right. Okay. Great. What have you faced any major challenges in driving this project forward?
Yeah, well, it definitely was, because I was relatively new in the company. I still didn't know the database structures. I didn't know where the data was stored. I didn't know who was the keeper of the data. So these are, like the starting issues that usually anyone has when it comes into the company. I think I really got the feeling for, if when we're gonna, let's say, employ new people in this data science field, what they are going to feel and what they're going to expect when they come to our company, because I was in the exact same position when I came. So you don't know where's the data, how to get it, stuff like this.
Right. It's
yeah.
So did you find that data is less accessible in the smart grid environment as it is in other sectors you may have worked in?
Yeah, I would say it's not less accessible, but you do need a certain period of time to get a hang of it.
Right. Okay.
It's how do you say? It's not that different. I mean, you do know that you are handling time series mostly, especially with smart metering. But it has some specialties and some special touches to it. As in any industries, each data has some specialties that you need to know, or actually that you learn along the way.
Yeah. And what are the biggest lessons you've learned so far as a data scientist in the smart grid?
Yeah, well, I would say that the biggest lesson that I got, this is especially interesting because I came from the research institute. Before I worked 5 years for the Milan Vidmar Power Research Institute, which is one of the biggest research institutes in Slovenia for the energy sector. And yeah, the biggest gain I got was that not everything that we think that works in theory well works also in practice.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because the smart meters in theory, they provide all the data. The data are cleaned. You get everything exactly on the time periods that you must know. But the stuff in practice is actually a lot different. You have time delays, you have missing data, you have meters that don't work properly, and you have to go in field and check them. You have communication issues, stuff like this. So, like I said before, you get that subtle specialties that you would otherwise be missing.
Right.
So that was one of my biggest sort of, let's say, insights was for this stuff.
Okay, well, we wish you the very best with this new project that you've just started and hope that it really helps drive the transformation and the digitalization efforts in your organization. A couple of questions for you on a personal level, Leon. Who would you say has inspired you the most in your career so far, and why?
Oh, that's an interesting question. It's probably my father. He is also in the electrical energy sector, and yeah, he actually, I think he got me in the industry when I was still in primary school. Like he was learning me about how the generators work, how the electricity is transmitted. Um, he took me on, let's say, field trips to high voltage substations. So actually, I grew up, let's say, knowing these devices or actually learning about them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So when I got to the university, it was quite different. I went to study for automation and robotics. But I did know some things about the power. About the electrical power sector. So yeah, when I got to the university, I got to know the side of the, let's say, the automation, the control theory, the robotics, that side. But then I changed back into the into the power sector, and nowadays I'm mostly working on data science projects and using data, to drive the business.
Okay, yeah. So the grid has been a passion for quite a long time then.
Yes, really.
Not new to you, yeah. Great. And outside of the grid, then, what's your passion? What else do you enjoy doing outside of the grid?
Yeah, of course, the personal life is also very important. So what I like to do is spending a lot of time with my family, doing great things for them, just enjoying time with them. I also I also do a lot of how do you say, constructing racing drones. I've been doing that now for
Okay.
I've been doing that now for a while.
Yeah.
I love to fly drones. I love to pilot them, and it's actually it's quite an interesting hobby.
Excellent. That's where that you relax and unwind. Fantastic. Yeah. Sounds exciting. Yeah. All right, Bjorn. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Really good to speak to you. And we're looking forward to seeing you in October at the AMI 2020 conference. And that's taking place on the 13th of October. So look forward to seeing you then.
Yes, pleasure was all mine, and see you in October.
Have a good day. Take care.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.